Something I really appreciate about MacGuffin is the fact that even though we were all students, I never felt like I was treated like a kid. I always felt like my opinion mattered. When it came to discovering a character that I was portraying, I always felt like I had a say in my thoughts about the character. And I think that that's really important when you're a kid, is the fact that you have people who are taking you seriously, so that when you get to the real world, you trust yourself enough and you know that you're independent enough to come up with your own ideas and be on your own.
Hi, my name is Sam. I wanted to share some of my favorite MacGuffin memories. I have a few. So one of them is Ben Horowitz and I both went to Masterman, and Brian Cowden taught us some stage combat. So we were practicing hair pulls in the hallways of Masterman between classes, and we almost got in trouble by one of the middle school science teachers because she thought that we were starting a fight. I really loved learning how to do a spit take in a comedy camp onto Tom Hopkins. I will treasure that. And I really treasure, aside from all of the classes and camps and the sight-up rehearsals, many of the friends that I made at MacGuffin during my time there. Grace Agnew and I met when we were 15 or 16, and we just celebrated her 28th birthday last month. So MacGuffin is very much a part of who I am today. Love you!
Happy 20th anniversary, MacGuffin! This is Michaela, and I wanted to tell you one of my favorite MacGuffin memories. It happened during the second iteration of More Than Anything in 2010, and it was the moment where Sam meets Hedwig for the first time with Potter and Daisy, and at the end of that song, they all get together and they do the na-na section, which I remember going like this. Na 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 na, and it still sticks out in my mind as one of the most honest and most present and purest moments of theater that I've ever been a part of. That year and that production was really stressful for me, and I just remember every night looking forward to that moment because it was the perfect blend of character, Samantha and Michaela being one, in that Samantha gets this moment to release and to just be with her friends. And Michaela did too, because these were people, Susanna, Ben, Emma, that I had grown up at MacGuffin with and become a person and an actor with, and to have that moment together, I will never forget it. It was so special, and yeah, I think it really encapsulates what MacGuffin meant to me. Aw, I'm getting teary.
Hey everyone, my name is Kayla Warren, and for my video, I made an acronym about MacGuffin. So for M, I have magic, because at MacGuffin we make magic. For A, I have acting, because MacGuffin grows actors. For C and G, I have challenges and growth, because no matter what challenges we face, whether it's learning a new song, taking on a new role, these are all experiences that allow for a lot of growth. For U, I have unconditional, because everyone you meet there has unconditional love. For F and F, I have friends and family, because, as we like to say, MacGuffin is a place where it's like one big family. For I have inclusive, because no matter who you are accepted there, and it's a place where you can learn to love who you are. And for N, I have an experience I'll never forget.
I was looking around my room and I started pulling objects down and that were from MacGuffin and like remnants of my time at MacGuffin. And I have a little hearty pile here, and I thought the one word that came to mind was a sense of faith. Like, all of these achievements that I've had at MacGuffin are because John Reyes had faith in me. And he pushed me to headline an entire show on my back. He pushed me to play roles that I never imagined myself fitting into. He gave me, not just John, but I was awarded, like, for being in a show, which that has never happened before. And I don't think I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for a place and a person having that kind of faith in me. And even when I leave voice lessons with John crying and upset with myself because I couldn't get a certain acting beat or a certain walk or understand a certain vocal exercise, I never worried that John had lost his faith in me. And because I always knew that John had faith in me, then I always had faith in myself. And I was always going to come back and want to get better. And I think that's what makes MacGuffin so special, is being there for every single actor and pushing them to be the absolute best they can be. And I rely on that so much. And I take things from MacGuffin with me everywhere that I go. And it reminds me to always have faith in myself. And I'm so grateful for that. Happy 20 years, MacGuffin. I wish you another great 20 years.
It's hard for me to pick one individual memory, but I think that it's really hard. I want to say that I really loved the rehearsal processes for the spring Shakespeare shows. Those were always a ton of fun. But, you know, I also remember, but I also remember coming in for, like, my first day of summer camp when I was 8. And I think that doing the summer camp for so many years has also been really valuable memories. Like, MacGuffin really defined my summers for a long time. But I mean, I think above all, I came away from MacGuffin with a really great community, and I made some amazing friends that I'm still friends with, and I really value MacGuffin for giving me that.
So even though I no longer am a singer or actor or like use that in my daily life, I still believe that MacGuffin was the most important and valuable investment that my parents made and that I guess I made as well. Because as a young person, MacGuffin was the first place that taught me the importance of community. MacGuffin taught me how to care for others, but even more importantly, perhaps, MacGuffin was really the first place that I learned how important it is to take care of myself and to be kind to myself. It's really a community of love where we listen to each other and care for each other. And I've taken that experience and sought it out now in my young adult life. So it really was foundational and an important place for me growing up. And I'm so grateful to John and Liz and to all my friends there. I just love you all so much. And my experience at MacGuffin has completely informed who I am now and the happiness that I find in my life now and the happiness that I realize that I deserve. So thank you all. Mwah!
Hello, John. Congratulations. Happy 20th. 20 years. It's a long time. That makes me feel old. I can't imagine what it's doing to you. Congratulations. You've really accomplished a lot of amazing stuff in that short amount of time. And I hope you're very proud and very happy. I know that I am very happy and very proud of you. Thank you very much for giving me all the tools I needed to become a successful working actor here in my young age. And for giving me the courage to go out there and make mistakes.
So one of the most important things that I learned at MacGuffin, I think, was how to access my artistic agency and how to make decisions about a character, decisions that inspire me and that I connect to and that I believe I can tell a truthful story about. And it just gave me a sense of freedom that I'd kind of never felt before in a text, because it showed me that not everything is scripted and planned in a character. There's spontaneity, and there's life, and there's your own truths that are inside of it. And I do also just credit MacGuffin with ending up where I am now and pursuing what I'm pursuing in life, because I think that if I hadn't found MacGuffin, I hadn't done any of the camps or the shows or the classes, the troops, I don't think that I would have chosen this path, and I'm really glad that I didn't miss out on the opportunity. Thank you.
Hi, MacGuffin! For those of you that don't know us, I'm Jessica Boyle.
I'm Julia Hopkins.
And I'm Allie Boyle. And we just wanted to congratulate you guys on your 20th anniversary, and we also wanted to show you some of our favorite memories while we were in the Singing Bohemians troupe.
Yes, and me and Julia were also two original members of the Singing Bohemians troupe. So this is one of our favorite songs that we did at a bunch of shows over the years. Here we go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Quite a lot of Roman terracotta, living lava from the flanks of Etna. Statuary, right, Jerry, see the temple tumble and the Red Sea part. McNamara spent about his lady in the land of pickle prehistoric hands trying to poke on his hair. Go to her, go to be shown you some rowing through a bottle of the rapids of the Delaware. Armadillos, clever caterpillars, reproduction of the cyclops, red hot crystal blowing, automatic sewing, Venus on a shell of the rocks of bark. Educated, please tribe, aborigines, ladies trying to cross the knees of Mona Lisa made advice. Hot thoughts forgotten and forgotten spots of cotton gin that without us, I don't better see that twice. One iguana, snakes, and other fauna. Got no bearded lady, but we're getting a. When you duck out, take another buck out. Run around the block and see you, run around the block and see you, run around the block and see you, new show start.
Something that I learned at MacGuffin that I still use in my acting today is an understanding of the importance, necessity, and freedom of failure. When I was 11 years old, I had my first improv class at MacGuffin, and John came into the room and he looked at all of us, but especially at me, and he said, "Today, all of you are gonna fail." And I remember being terrified by that, but now that I'm older, I understand how true and meaningful that sentiment is. Because when acting, you always have an idea of what the right thing to do is. And so often, the right choice in your head is the least interesting and least authentic choice you can make. And in doing the scene, the joke, the show wrong hundreds of times and feeling comfortable doing it wrong, you can through that find the most authentic, true, and beautiful acting choice you can make.
Hi, MacGuffin. Congratulations on 20 years. If I were to share an important thing that MacGuffin has given me, I would say that I took my first improv class there when I was 12, and I'm 26 now, and I've pretty much been doing it ever since, with little breaks here and there, but it's been the very consistent thing I've always gone back to. And that part of my life probably wouldn't exist if I hadn't taken a class at MacGuffin, and felt like that was the space I was the most comfortable in and happiest in and most confident in. I remember being in a class and being able to make the cool older kids laugh with something I said on stage, and that, as like an awkward 12-year-old who didn't know how to like make friends, I was like, I did something funny. So I just want to thank John and Liz and just everyone else who was taught at MacGuffin for making that possible. And obviously Emma, who has reminded me over and over again how important it is for me to make this video to send in, because it is. And I'm really sad that I can't be there to enjoy this anniversary party. Really, 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 really wanted to be there, but life happens. I love you, MacGuffin. I love everyone there, and I hope to be back as soon as I can. To 20 more years.
I've learned so much here at MacGuffin, and while it feels good to be back, It also triggers certain memories that often involved an awkward bowler hat. Started when I was 10, but sang Annie until I was 16. Traveled hours for bohos, helped alphabas all paint their face green. Even as a grown-up, I'm always left thinking, am I mad, sad, glad, hurt, or scared? Whoa, no chance, no way, don't you dare touch that prop. With each set change, stacked more boxes on top. At summer camp, don't you dare wear flip-flops. But when it does come down to it, I still recall every camp show and duet as part of many years filled with seasons I loved. Thank you, John, Liz, and all, for this place that I love. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Happy 20th, MacGuffin.
Hey everyone, how's it going? For starters, wow, what an accomplishment and something really exciting and worth celebrating, MacGuffin 20 years. Before I get into the lessons I've learned, just a few things. Go Birds. Make sure to have your protein when you work out. And if you have anemia, Nature Made Iron. I'm hired by Nature Made to plug them in this. Anyway, when thinking about the numerous lessons I've learned at MacGuffin and the many, little gifts and opportunities that MacGuffin provided me, I think the one that resonated with me the most was just the ability to be involved daily and work with just so many kind, warm, bright, talented people that really I wouldn't have had the chance to work with. As you know, I'm a nice little suburbanite down the old main line, but it was really nice to go into the city. It was so vibrant, meet just so many different people that I really wouldn't have had the chance to work with, whether it be instructors, whether it be fellow students in classes, whether it be people in the improv troupe. I just am really happy that I got to make so many connections with so many great people. And I think that's, if anything, a testament to what MacGuffin does. It really brings together people from different backgrounds, like a little rugby, football knucklehead who broke his thumb, with people from all across the city and across even state lines. So here's to you, MacGuffin, for 20 years and to 20 years more.
Hey guys, Dean Dimitri here, MacGuffin member for life, obviously. Just wanted to say congratulations to Liz and John Ray and everybody for 20 years, 2 decades. It's unbelievable. I've learned so many life lessons along the way from John and Liz. I mean, most importantly, if it's not your prop, don't touch it, okay? That's the John Ray famous one that has stuck with me for years. I don't touch anything that's not mine. But honestly, congrats to everybody, specifically John and Liz. 20 years, unbelievable. Much love.
One of my favorite MacGuffin memories was before the performance of Wicked, which was my first MacGuffin show, and my first summer camp with MacGuffin. We did dedications, and this was
my first time doing something like this, and basically we're all down in the basement at Plays and Players, and it was just such a great feeling being there with the cast who I'd really grown to love and had such a great time working with, and we were all just dedicated to the shows, and it really made me feel a part of a community, and that was kind of the first time I really felt what a great welcoming atmosphere MacGuffin has, and I really carried that with me over the rest of my time at MacGuffin.
How's it going, guys? David Dimitrick here.
Ben Horowitz here.
Shakespeare Award winner, Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
And I'm actually 1.5 times as old as I was when I got the life, so sort of the Lifetime and a Half Award achievement, if you're asking me.
No one's asking you. Listen,
one's asking.
we just want to say congratulations to MacGuffin on 20 years,
10 years?
Ben.
20 years.
20 years. And we want to say congrats to John Ray, to Liz Fredette, and everything that you guys have done for us. Like
This side up.
Yeah, bohos, all that.
Everything.
Here in Los Angeles, we've taken a lot of the skills that MacGuffin taught us. First thing.
I don't cross my arms.
Doesn't cross. Hands
Ever.
out.
Never once.
I mean, he's not guarded anymore. He's open. He's
Very
free.
open. Almost a little too open.
Okay, listen. We're saying we learn to like listen to our cast members.
Listen.
Hold on now. We learn to like we hear each other.
I
We're
hear
team players.
everything,
I
dude.
need
I
to
have
talk.
great ears.
Everything like also, not being afraid to be an utter weirdo in front of
I'm
people.
such a weirdo that
Please
I don't have any
shut
friends.
up.
Okay.
Oh my God, okay? Listen, I mean, I'm not afraid to like maybe wear something flamboyant. My nails are painted right
he wears
now.
nail polish.
Please, I asked you one more time. Can you just get me a coffee?
I can get you a coffee.
Thank you.
Cream and sugar?
Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Okay, guys, congratulations. I mean, really, congrats.
Hey, congratulations!
Please leave me alone.
We're getting there.
So I never did theater when I was younger simply because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt that because I didn't take like tons of dance classes or singing classes, or I wasn't part of every show, that meant I wasn't good enough. That meant I couldn't just jump in, you know, as a middle schooler already into the theater realm. There was already the theater kids. So I did a lot of backstage stuff, and one day when I was sitting at the soundboard and I was watching a production that my school did, I realized how badly I wanted to be on stage, and I realized that I couldn't let myself just think I'm not good enough. So I searched for a place that I could just jump in right in, and that was MacGuffin. I know I didn't have to be the best person ever. I didn't have to do professional theater. I didn't have to be a perfect singer, a perfect dancer just to be part of the show. I went into the More Than Anything 2016 audition with no singing, no acting, no singing or acting experience. I didn't know anybody. I was super sick, and I was welcomed with open arms, and I got to be part of that show, and it just meant the world to me that everyone was so welcoming, and I didn't have to be the best just to be part of it. And I ended up sticking with MacGuffin and doing all of these other shows that I've loved because I have a community to be part of outside of school. I don't have to be like the star of every show to still feel welcomed and appreciated, because I've realized at MacGuffin that every small part is important. Otherwise, there wouldn't be the small part. Otherwise, they would just give all the things to the large parts. And I realized that when we were doing our bows for Hamlet, when I went up and I did my like solo bow and everyone's applauding for me, and it feels amazing to get that recognition. And then we all go down and we all bow together, and everyone's applauding for us because we've come together, all different people from all different backgrounds, to make something beautiful. And you don't have to be the best to make something beautiful. You just have to be willing to learn and to participate. And it's amazing that MacGuffin has given us that opportunity.
There's a couple things I learned at MacGuffin that I'm going to remember for a long while to come. First of all, my 3 years at This Side Up, they've given me enough projection skills and improv skills to help me in nearly every social situation that I'll have in college and forward after that. Besides that, one of my favorite experiences has been in Avenue Q, where I learned that a tight-knit group of performers really does make the performance something special, and it makes it really something unforgettable, which I sure as hell know I'm not going to forget that anytime soon. Another thing I'm not going to forget anytime soon is this. Why, John?
My first summer at MacGuffin was in 2006, and the main production was Wicked, but we also did the first ever production of The Cruel Sister as part of Philadelphia's Spark Festival. And because there was no backstage area for 40 pretty high energy teenagers, the job fell to my parents to house all of us and John for the entire run of Cruel Sister, which was a total delight. Definitely my favorite MacGuffin memory. So congratulations, John. Congratulations, Liz. Congratulations, Emma, and anybody who's ever worked with MacGuffin. Here's to 20 more years.
All right, so my favorite moment as a student at MacGuffin in performance was playing Daisy in More Than Anything in 2010. It was the second rendition of More Than Anything, and it's the moment when they're in Hedwig's basement and they are, they're in their sacred rehearsal space, and Sam has been invited in by Potter, and Daisy is like, I don't want anything to do with this girl. Who even is she? And then she has this huge shift, and she watches Sam have this incredibly vulnerable experience, and she sees how supportive Hedwig and Potter are being, and she's like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay, I get it. I see it. I understand that you are the same as me and you just want to be loved and, valued. And so then I just remember every night looking in my scene partner's eyes, and my scene partners were and still are some of my closest friends. And I just remember looking in their eyes every night right before we do the na 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 na, right? And it gets faster and faster, and it's like really exciting. And as characters, they're all like there and they're connected and they're supporting each other. And as the actors, we were doing the same. We were having this moment of like, wow, this is so special. And then 6 years later, the night that Michaela came and saw the show, the third rendition of More Than Anything, she sat across from me while I was working sound, and in that moment, in that scene, I look over and she's crying and I'm crying, and so we're sitting there holding hands, like silently weeping, watching this next group of kids having that same bonding experience, and getting to watch that is so special. And so now, as a teacher at MacGuffin, watching those same kinds of moments happen over and over again is so powerful, and I think is such a testament to what John started and what Liz came in and helped, to build, and now what I'm really excited, I get to be part of. So happy 20 years of Growing Actors MacGuffin. I love you so much.
Hey MacGuffin, as most of you probably know, I am not an alum. I am the Associate Artistic Director of MacGuffin. However, I started with MacGuffin when I was 24 years old, and I am almost 40 now. So I've done a good deal of growing up during my time at MacGuffin, almost as much as some of our students. I can't imagine what my life would be like without MacGuffin. I am so grateful to John for having created the company, and I'm glad we found each other, and I am so privileged and honored to be able to work alongside John, as well as with all of our students and the rest of the staff. Some of my favorite memories involve the spring shows. It's been so great and cool to watch our students evolve, working on Shakespeare since 2011, which is when I first directed Twelfth Night. And it's been such a privilege to be allowed to do Shakespeare with kids and to allow my own art to grow and evolve as I have evolved in life. However, I would say my most favorite memory currently has been this year, watching our students and families welcome my son Bex into the world and embrace him and support me. There's nothing cooler than watching your current and former students love your kid. And so I'm so thankful for a community that gave us the space to be a part of, both as a working artist and a parent, and hopefully a parent of a MacGuffin student in not that many years. So happy 20th to 20 more amazing years growing actors.